Hey y'all, it's Maurice with another video. In this video, I'm actually on a little walking trail I come to often. I don't think you call it hiking. I think hiking is more of like uphill, right? I don't know, but a walking trail. And I had just been thinking about, how in one of my videos I talked about that I am in the midst of a transition. I'm planning to move from Charlotte, North Carolina, going back to the Northeast, but before that, going to do a little bit of country hopping. And then I also went out to dinner last night on a solo date, and I normally don't do this, but I ended up sitting at the bar. I don't sit at the bar when I'm trying to have a solo date because it's just about me, myself, and me, me, myself, and I. But the guy started talking to me, an older guy, and basically, he had spent a lot of his years traveling, and he was kind of encouraging me to continue forward in that lane of traveling, of seeing the world, of learning more. And it also hit me how so many of us are not building a foundation of our lives, and then we will be expected to continue to carry the vision of someone else's. I think too often we get caught up in wherever we are at in life, be it your career, be it your family, be it whatever the situation, the city you live in, to where we don't really start thinking about what my life, what do I want my life to look like, in 5, 10, 15 years? What do I want my life to look like? I actually saw this documentary on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it. I'll try to find it and then put it here. But the documentary basically talked about how most people in the world, as human beings, not just isolated to the United States, but as human beings, we aren't generally wired to think about ourselves in the future. That if you saw a photo of yourself from 40 or 50 years from now, you would not be able to connect from that because we don't see ourselves in a future. We only see ourselves in a now. And so I think that if a lot of us can spend more time trying to see ourselves in the future, this would change the things that we decide to do in our lives. I can see myself as a 60-year-old. I can see myself being grateful that I experienced all of the things that I experienced when maybe, hopefully at 60, I am able to move and, still have energy and still can get out there and do a little step or two. But if I am unable to, I at least would like to be able to know that I lived a life. I created that foundation for that 60-year-old me. You know what I mean? And we got to talk about that. That's even when we come to finances. However much you make, whatever your salary is, however you bring your income in, we really don't seem to care about what the future us will need. It's baffling to me, I guess, because it's baffling to me that we don't think about what the future me will need. That I don't consider what the future Maurice will need, the kind of life that he wants to live, the kind of traveling I want to do, the kind of car I will be driving, the kind of house I'll live in, the kind of financial support I'll be able to give to my nieces and nephews, and, to be able to donate to charities and things like this. We really don't consider the fact that if God is kind, we will get older. And that if we don't start the foundation building now, a lot of us are going to be in trouble. I think a lot of us are getting caught up and swooned up in what social media is. And, all of the gurus are telling you about how to make fast money, how to go quickly trading, how to all of these things. You know what I mean? You've got to know where you want to be at. And everybody's situation, everybody's strategy won't be the same. I did a video recently on Instagram on my stories, and I think I talked about this in my date night video, where I basically was saying that, I am in the process of doing a rehab, and yes, it could be a quicker process, but I'm using my own money. And yes, people are like, well, you could get loans out and you can do all this stuff and you could scale quickly. And it's yeah, but that's not my strategy. That's not my my strategy is based off of what my end goal is. And my end goal is to be unleveraged, is to own my properties outright, barring, you know what I mean? We know that we don't really own our properties outright. We know that if you don't pay taxes, the man is coming for that house, But barring that situation, I just want to own them. I think I'm looking right now at what is going on in society. People are over leveraged. People don't have enough. People have spent frivolously. I could never really say that word. People have spent unsmartly. And now a lot of people are in a position to where they are looking around like, what am I going to do? You know, I don't have anything. I don't have anything to fall back on. And so for me, I feel like if nothing else, at least I can go back and live in one of the properties that I own, or pull money out one of those properties if I needed to, you know? So there is a method to the madness, and everybody won't understand it because everybody don't have the same outlook. They don't have the same vision that I have for my life. And that is a-okay, my friends. That is a-okay. Like, everybody don't got to understand what I'm doing. Everybody don't got to see the path that I'm going. Everybody don't have to get it. As long as I get it, that's all that matters. But at the end of the day, I'm building a foundation right now. I am consciously working on preparing myself for a better life in the future. And honestly, it's to the point where you also have to sometimes, I don't want to make a blanket statement like this, but sometimes you got to suffer through when you in a noun. You know, there are plenty of times where I am cash strapped. There are plenty of times when I'm just like, woo, you know what I mean? But I am investing all of my money into the future. I am investing all of my money into something that is going to put me in a better position. I'm investing all of my money into something that will give me the opportunity to say yes or no to things in the future. And I think that everybody want to say yes or no now. Everybody want to be big pimping. Everybody want to be big balling. Everybody want to be big daddy and big mommy. You know what I mean? Like, nobody want to be the little boy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine with being a little boy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine with building myself up slowly and quietly. And when I say quietly, I share videos on my Instagram about like the process and the progress of rehabbing and stuff like that. But for me, I do that because I feel like I need to show somebody else that it's possible. There's many people that come from places that I come from that look like me, that that want to know, is it possible? And so for me, I show it from that way, and not in this vain way to be, you know what I mean, like boastful. Actually, that's really why I have struggled with sharing a lot of things, is that I never want to come off as someone that's boastful, braggadocious, or anything like that. You know, I feel like if I'm willing to show it, I should be able to share how I did it. And that is, 100% who I am. And so for me, it's just like, well, this I'm in somebody's backyard, which is kind of cool that you, in your backyard, you have like a whole walking trail. I think that's kind of dope. But yeah, I just, I'm intent on making sure that the content that I share, it's helpful to people, that it actually, enlightens people and give people a peek into how to actually do it, versus just saying like, I'm Big Papa over here. They doing that right now, like Big Mommy and Big Poppy. You know what I mean? Everybody is Big Mommy and Big Poppy. And at the end of the day, being Big Mommy and Big Poppy right now, if you got 30, 40, even 20 more years left in you, you want to be Big Mommy and Big Poppy when it matters. You know what I mean? Like right now, I can suffer through, and I think that is another conversation about making sure that you have lower expenses. You can't spend everything you get. My grandmother used to tell me this. My grandmother said, you just can't spend everything that come in. You cannot spend everything you get and then still expect to be able to live a fruitful and comfortable life later on, And so for me, it is really always being conscious of that. I'm always thinking about finances. I'm always thinking about how to strategize better. I'm not perfect at it. I can be better. I have slip-ups. I go to the mall, and before you know it, I'm in H&M, and I've gotten like a whole new outfit, and I didn't even need it. You know what I mean? Like, so I have slip-ups as well. Less now than in the past, but we all do things. I like being social, so I'm a happy hour guy. So when I go out, baby, listen, we all getting drinks. Like, I'm not going back and forth with that. You got that, you got me. We all getting drinks. Let's do our thing. I pay, you pay, we pay. We all, So yeah, we create allowances in our lives, but we overall are still very much, focused on that. But I think that we have gotten into this space just as a culture in society, to where we just really aren't conscious about the fact that we will get older, and that people aren't being considerate about the fact that you will, and that if you do everything big right now, what will it look like in 20, 30, 40 years? You know, really, that's actually a valid question, I think, and a valid question that we all should ask ourselves, is that if we do it big all the time right now, what does it look like when I'm 50? What does it look like when I'm 60? You already wearing a chinchilla. You know what I mean? Like, you literally are already in a chinchilla. So what do you need? What are you going to be in when you're 60 years old? You know, I mean, now granted, certainly there are people who are just rich and wealthy and who will have a chinchilla forever. But for the majority of us, for the masses, that's not, we aren't in that position. We don't have the resources. We don't have the wherewithal to continue to live like we will be dead tomorrow, you know, and God forbid that happened to any of us, but that is the truth. And, you know, and so it is important that we really start having more money conversations. It's important that we start thinking more about our position in the world, and also to our influence from the world. You know, stop looking at these influencers. Don't you see them videos of all of them going broke? Stop thinking that these influencers, I mean, they got the same app that you have, the same free app that you have. You know what I mean? Like, the same way you can curate a photo shoot, or curate a video, or curate a lifestyle, is the same way that they can do it as well. You know, we really take these people at face value. In this day and age, we take these people at face value. I think that it's all smoke and mirrors. I think that it has become clear to a lot of us that a lot of what we see is not the truth. A lot of what we see is not authentic, and that you are following behind someone that is inauthentic, and you are expecting an authentic experience from that. It seems bizarre. It seems bizarre in the least. Y'all, take this in. I really love nature. You know, I recently was having a conversation with my mother, and I was like, you know, it's so crazy how as you start getting older, you start like reconnecting with the things that you used to love as a kid. Because it's like, I used to love nature as a kid, and then, I don't know, adulthood happened, and I felt like, I don't know, but like now where my house is very much in the suburbs, and trees everywhere, and like, love it, you know, love it. I mean, love the nature part. I don't love the culture or the environment. And when I say environment, I mean like, there's nothing going on where I live at. I'm more social than what is available, and so I don't like it because of that. But outside of that, it is completely fine. But yeah, just getting reconnected to the things that I loved as a kid has been nice, you know. But yeah, friends, that I mean, listen, we better fix ourselves up, because if not, I think a lot of us are really going to end up in trouble. And I can't bail all of us out. This is a one-man show. You know, this is a one-man show. I can't bail us all out. And so I think that, and also recognize that a lot of us who are speaking up and saying things, we look like extremists. Could you imagine? We look like extremists for saying like, don't follow these people. They are not real. This is not real. We look like extremists, and I'm willing to be an extremist in that space, because at the end of the day, if nobody speaks up, then what happens? You know what I mean? Like, because all of the stuff that we see online is not real. That's just like, life is not real. Everybody's not rich. Everybody's not a millionaire. Everybody is not going to have 50 million followers. Everybody's not all of that stuff. So, and also too, everybody is not, if everybody spend all of that money right now, and everybody's gonna be broke when they get old. I'm just telling y'all right now. So just know that I said it to y'all first. You know what I mean? Like, that, it's just what's gonna happen. It's just, hello. Good morning. But yeah, just know that I said it first, y'all. Everybody is not. We got to stop like believing the hype, believing what we see online, and believe what is happening in your pockets. Believe what you are feeling with this inflationary period. Believe what you are experiencing, not what you're seeing. I love y'all for watching, for listening, as always. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Deuces.